Closing the academic achievement gap between whites and minorities has been a major issue nationally for years. While many public school students are doing well locally, the achievement issue remains a challenge for Prince George's educators. This challenge has prompted CTV News to begin an in-depth examination of academic achievement. And tonight, Natalie Wilson brings us part 2 of our special series, Children Come First.
When it comes to teachers having success in the classroom, some say it's not just a matter of what you're teaching, but also how you're teaching. We travel south to Atlanta's Ron Clark Academy, where out-of-the-box methods have helped children of various skill levels soar to the top of their class. No, it isn't someone's birthday or a rehearsal for the school play. This is class. This is what class is like every day at the Ron Clark Academy.
As we bring it to life, I'm rapping my lessons. No matter what we're rapping about, whether it's math or global studies, we're putting energy and music and excitement. Now let's get down to some presidential learning. We'll start with George Washington, straight from Mount Vernon. The first president and commander-in-chief fought the Revolutionary War so we can be free. You have to meet kids where they are. When I was in North Carolina, some of the songs I did country songs, and we were outside reenacting war battles because the kids love the war battles. When I was in Harlem, they loved to double dutch with the ropes, so I learned how to double dutch. No matter where you are, no matter which kids you're working with, you've got to say, what do they love? And I have to love it too.
The Ron Clark Academy is a private school nestled in a one-time abandoned factory in southeast Atlanta. The school houses about 100 students in grades 5 through 8. A focal point of the school's success is what many would call out-of-the-box teaching methods. They incorporate song, dance, and technology within a rigorous curriculum redefining how this generation learns.
I can't imagine there being a school that's harder in the entire country. I mean, when the kids come here as 5th graders, we start teaching 8th grade level curriculum, and we jump 2 to 3 years in every class, and so it's a struggle. And sometimes the kids are like, they're drowning, they're just trying to tread water, trying just to keep up. But what we find is that once they catch up, because they work really hard to catch up, then we can take them to the moon. Their test scores are through the roof, and we've seen that when you really expect a lot, you get a lot. Okay, you ready?
Yeah!
Let's do it!
And the numbers speak for themselves. Within its first year, the overall math performance on the Stanford Achievement Test by 5th graders increased by 46 points, from the 40th percentile to the 86th percentile. 6th graders also increased their math scores on the SAT by 46 points, scoring in the 86th percentile. The SAT provides a general equivalent score which assesses a student's performance based on his or her grade level. Ultimately, Ron Clark's 5th and 6th graders were scoring as well as or better on the SAT as 9th and 10th graders.
Number one is we have really, really high expectations. We feel like in America we're not expecting enough of kids. I mean, we really push our students here because we feel with higher expectations come greater results.
The education the Academy offers goes beyond just academics. It has a strong commitment to educating the total person. Take, for example, Ron Clark's Essential 55, a list of 55 principles and ideas that serve as a code of conduct, expectations, and character foundation. What is also unique is the curriculum's travel requirement. International trips are a critical part of helping students connect the dots between present-day cultures and history. They've been to London, Paris, Sydney, and Tokyo, among other places. Clark says that giving students the ability to live through experience is just another example of how active engagement transforms a classroom.
We want to have these students become global leaders, kids who really look at the world and see it as from a global citizen's perspective. We want our kids to care about other nations, other cultures, other religions, to really see the world and to have an awareness, because we feel like 10, 15 years from now, no matter what profession you're in, if you don't have some awareness and some ability to connect with the world, you're not going to be successful. These kids went all over the world, and now these kids, They can have conversations about the world because they've been there and they've seen it. And it was really cool when the kids went to their interviews for scholarships for high schools, they blew them away because my students wanted to discuss the economic policies that are going on in India, and they wanted to discuss what they saw with the indigenous people of Peru, and they wanted to discuss these really in-depth, high-level issues. And some of the interview people, the kids said they couldn't carry the conversation with me because they didn't have enough background knowledge about the world to really get in it with me. And so our kids blew them away, and that's why they got probably over $800,000 of scholarships to go to high schools, because they have that global perspective and they're prepared.
And when it comes to expectations, the Academy makes it clear that the success in the classroom is linked to parental involvement. Parents are expected to donate 40 hours of service to the school and are also expected to stay abreast of all coursework, but not as an overseer. Clark hosts a series of workshops to make sure parents are prepared to become their child's best tutor.
We said we expect this of you. We gave them a contract. We said we expect you to contribute 40 hours of volunteer service in the school this year. And they said, well, what happens if I don't do it? I said, nothing. Nothing. But I'd like for you to do it. And I'd like for you to sign it saying that you understand this is what I'm asking. And those parents would sign it. Every year, they all get their 40 hours. Last year, our parents did 6,500 hours in our school because it was just an expectation. I think sometimes we don't let parents know, here's what I really need from you. And once we let them know, the parents were willing to do it. And then I was teaching math, and the kids said, Mr. Clark, this math is so hard, because academics here are very hard. And the parents said, your child's not doing well in math, we got to get him some help. And the parents always say, I'm going to get him a tutor, I'm going to get him a tutor. Don't let parents go try to find some tutor, because most of the time they don't know where to find a tutor, and they might go get Uncle Leroy to tutor, and Uncle Leroy needs a tutor. I'm like, don't get Uncle Leroy. No, I said, you need to be the tutor. Parent, you're the tutor. And they said, well, I don't understand the math either. I said, I'm going to teach you too.
Every Wednesday night, Clark hosts a series of workshops where he gives the parents practice tests.
I say, here, parents, it's a 7-page practice test. Go home and give this to your child. But here's the answer key. So if your child misses one, you can check to see why. And underneath it, I wrote a description of each problem to show you step by step how to solve it. So even if you don't know how to solve it, you can just read it and you can tell your child how to solve it. Those parents love those practice tests. If I did nothing but make practice tests and answer keys all day long, I'd never make enough. Here are the parents. Mr. Clark, we need another practice test. Can I get another one? We finished that one. Can I get another one? The kids say, my mom said, can we get another practice test? I'm like constantly trying to do all these practice tests because they go home and they really work on it. And that's why math at our school is over the 90th percentile of the country, because these parents, they help. They're invested, and we were specific with them about what we expected.
So easy, bum bum.
So this ends up being 512 plus 6.
Now subtraction, multiplication.
The innovative and passionate methods has made the Ron Clark Academy a national flagship institution. But perhaps what's most surprising is that it comes at the hands of a man who never wanted to be a teacher. Clark, who grew up in a small town in North Carolina, would go on to teach at a school in Harlem, a place that had several unique challenges to the point he questioned his decision to come to New York.
And once I got in the classroom, I wanted to quit. Yeah, I did. I did want to quit because it was very hard. I had 37 kids all day long, all kinds of issues. It was rough. There were gifted classes at the school, middle classes, low classes, then my class.
By sticking it out during difficult times, Clark was able to transform the lives of the students and have the most unexpected results. It was then that he had the vision to be a part of a school where all the teachers were passionate and not afraid to try something new. Now that the Academy has been able to be that school, Clark says that the most important thing it does is give back and share its methods with teachers around the world.
This is the most important thing about our school. Not only are we lifting these kids up and getting them to be successful, but we share what we do here with everybody. We invite teachers, educators, principals, superintendents, board members from all over the country and around the world. Come here, come to our school, come sit in my classroom, come watch me teach for a day, come watch all of our teachers and the amazing work we're doing here, and you're going to see a lot of innovative and different things that you had no idea, that you never envisioned would happen in education. We're doing it here and we're getting results. So you can come here, be in this great environment, and then take our ideas back with you to your schools and all over the country and around the world.
What's your one side?
This is going to make that negative 511. You can't just stand in front of the classroom and teach out of the book. You can't just teach in a boring way. These kids these days are dealing with iPods and video games and these movies, and these kids are so excited, and they come in a classroom, book, and a boring teacher. You can't be boring. You got to use your personality, connect with the kids, and bring it to life.
Every year, more than 3,000 teachers visit the Academy, and it even hosts the Great American Teacher Awards, honoring some of the nation's top educators. Critics would argue that as a private school, the Academy has more resources and support to operate the way it does, as opposed to a teacher in a struggling public school. But Clark says that isn't necessarily the case.
98% of what we do here at our school, in our school, is free. Any teacher can do it in any classroom, anywhere. Now, the one thing we do here that you can't do is we travel a lot. We got the grants for that. Others can't travel. But 98% of our success here just deals with what we do in our classroom, and it's the relationships and our methods we use when we're teaching. All of that is for free.
And it's those free investments that have turned out priceless results. In Atlanta, Natalie Wilson, CTV News.